Debt is a temporary state, but value is a permanent truth, and the right investor always knows the difference. Right now, that spiritual fact has become a material reality. A cosmic ledger that has been wildly out of balance for years is being reconciled in your favor. For the longest time, you operated at a loss, pouring your energy, your spirit, and your hope into ventures that returned nothing but pain. They saw your resilience as a resource to be mined, not an asset to be invested in. But they made a fatal miscalculation. They assumed no one was watching the books. They thought your story was a private tragedy, but it was actually a public prospectus circulated in realms they cannot access. And it just landed on the right desk. The sound you are sensing is not wishful thinking. It is the sound of a celestial wire transfer being initiated. The payment for everything is being arranged. Chapter 1: The Divine Audit. What you are experiencing is not luck. It is a divine audit. For years, your life has been treated like a failing business by those who only look at surface-level data. They saw the struggle, the setbacks, the moments of near collapse, and they wrote you off. They labeled you a high risk, a bad investment, a lost cause. They held meetings you were not invited to, passing judgment on your potential based on a past you were actively fighting to overcome. But they were looking at the wrong set of books. They were reviewing the doctored reports, the ones filled with the lies they told about you and the lies you were taught to tell yourself. These fraudulent reports marked you as overly sensitive when you were actually detecting energetic threats with precision. They labeled you unproductive during periods that were actually mandatory spiritual upgrades and system reboots. They recorded your moments of righteous anger as instability when it was the only sane response to a corrupt system. They never had the security clearance to view the real ledger, the one kept by the universe. This ledger tells a different story. It is encrypted with the language of truth. In this ledger, every tear you shed was recorded not as a liability, but as a liquidity event, proving the depth of your emotional capital. Every betrayal you endured was noted not as a failure, but as a successful hostile takeover attempt that you thwarted, demonstrating the unshakable foundation of your character. Every season of loneliness was not an indicator of your lack of worth, but a mandatory quarantine period, a time when your assets were being protected from a volatile and infectious market. Your faith, the thing they mocked as naive, was logged as your primary source of venture capital, an infinite line of credit from the highest authority. Your kindness was not weakness, it was an ESG investment, an ethical and sustainable practice that guarantees long-term, high-yield returns in the cosmic market. Now, a celestial auditor has been dispatched. This is the powerful CEO who heard your story. This entity does not care about the opinions of your critics. They do not use calculators, they use integrity scanners and soul resonance detectors. They deal only in soul data, in energetic truth. And their audit of your life has concluded. The verdict is in, and it is a spiritual fact: you have been catastrophically undervalued. The report states plainly that your perceived debts were actually the operating costs of a divine mission. The exhaustion was the cost of spiritual research and development. The heartbreak was the price of market testing your capacity for love and forgiveness. The final report, now stamped with a seal of divine approval, declares that you are not just solvent, you are the most promising emerging market the heavens have seen in eons. In the coming days, the results of this audit will begin to manifest in your physical reality. This is not a gentle suggestion, it is an executive order. You will experience a sensation of a great weight being lifted from your shoulders, a feeling so palpable you might physically check to see if you have dropped something. In the spiritual realm, this is the sound of gigantic, rusty chains snapping and turning to dust. This is the spiritual weight of manufactured debt being cleared from your account. You will look at your bank account, your bills, your obligations, and a strange calm will wash over you. The panic that once lived in the pit of your stomach will be gone, replaced by a quiet, unshakable knowing. This is your nervous system receiving the memo from the celestial headquarters, a system-wide update being pushed to all of your cells. Do not be surprised when an old bill you had forgotten about is suddenly marked as paid. Do not question it when a credit appears from a source you cannot trace. Do not dismiss it when an opportunity arrives that perfectly covers a need you just realized you had. This is not a series of fortunate coincidences. This is the first wave of divine back pay. It is the initial disbursement from the investment fund that has been set up in your name. This back pay covers more than money. It includes stolen time, lost sleep, and squandered peace. Expect sudden bursts of energy, moments of profound rest, and a feeling of joy for no reason at all. These are interest payments on your spiritual capital. The CEO has reviewed your case, your story, your spirit, and has declared you not just solvent but a blue-chip asset. The world is about to witness the most dramatic market correction in spiritual history, and it is centered entirely on you. The audit is complete. The payment is being processed. Prepare for the transfer. To formalize this divine transaction, to sign the spiritual contract that acknowledges this universal truth, you have an assignment. This is not a request. It is a necessary activation protocol. This is not a social media interaction, it is the execution of a divine covenant. Like this video now to anchor the energy of this celestial investment into your timeline. It is your digital signature on the cosmic paperwork, a legally binding act in the court of heaven. Subscribe to this channel to join the collective of heaven's portfolio, a network of anointed ones whose value is now being made public. It is your official entry into this divine collective. Comment the number 77 below as your authorization code. This is the energetic PIN number that unlocks the vault and signals your conscious agreement to receive. It verifies your identity to the celestial bank. Finally, let this entire message replay in the background after it finishes. This will saturate your spirit with the frequency of this truth, recalibrating your subconscious mind from a state of debt to a state of divine ownership. Do it now. The transaction is pending your authorization. Chapter 2, the non-disclosure agreement of the spirit with any major corporate restructuring, especially one involving a massive injection of capital. There comes a period of strict confidentiality. This divine investment in you is no different. You are now operating under a spiritual non-disclosure agreement, an NDA mandated by heaven itself. The terms are simple. You are not required to explain the source of your sudden peace, your newfound clarity, or your impending overflow to anyone who was not a part of the original struggle. Your blessing is not a topic for public debate. It is a confidential settlement between you and the universe, and its terms are sealed. For so long, you felt a desperate need to be understood. You tried to explain your pain to people who had no capacity to comprehend it. You sought validation from individuals who were spiritually bankrupt themselves, asking for investment advice from those who had lost everything. You laid out the blueprints of your soul on tables surrounded by spies and saboteurs, wondering why your plans were always leaked and your projects always failed. These were the unqualified investors who told you your dreams were too risky while they were secretly shorting your stock. They advised you to be more realistic because your potential exposed their own lack of vision. That was the old you, the undervalued startup pleading for a round of funding from a corrupt system. That era is over. The CEO has made the investment, and now silence and discretion are your greatest tools of power. Your peace is now a proprietary technology, and you do not share your trade secrets. You will notice a change in your own communication. The frantic urge to justify your decisions will evaporate. When someone from your past questions your new direction, you will feel a profound calm instead of a spike of defensive anxiety. You will simply look at them, and your silence will be a complete sentence. It will say, "You do not have the security clearance for this information." This is not arrogance, it is spiritual security. You are protecting a divine asset, and that asset is your peace and your purpose. They will mistake your tranquility for secrecy, your calm for coldness. They might even accuse you of being arrogant or thinking you are better than them. Let them. Their confusion is a sign that the NDA is working. It is an energetic barrier that their low-frequency speculation cannot penetrate. Their accusations are the sound of a key bouncing off a lock it can no longer open. The past was your training for this very assignment. Every time you were silenced, ignored, or spoken over, you were being taught how to exist without the need for external applause. You were learning to validate yourself from within. Every secret you were forced to keep, every burden you had to carry alone, was strengthening your capacity to hold sacred information. You were building the encrypted server of your soul, a place where divine intelligence could be safely downloaded without risk of being hacked by lesser energies. They thought they were isolating you. In reality, heaven was sequestering you. You were being prepared to receive a level of blessing that, if revealed prematurely, would be attacked, misunderstood, and targeted by the very people who claimed to care for you. A premature announcement would be like a startup announcing a revolutionary product before the patent is filed. The competition would steal it overnight. In the coming weeks, you will be tested on this. Someone who once held power over you will reappear. They will approach you with a mask of concern, but their energy will reek of interrogation. They will ask probing questions. What's going on with you? You seem different. Did you get money? Who are you talking to? You've been so quiet lately. Is everything okay? They are not asking because they care. They are asking because their spirit feels the power shift. They sense that they have lost their access to your energy, your data, and it terrifies them. Your response is to be polite, detached, and vague. Everything is fine. Just being busy. Taking care of things. You are a CEO handling a sensitive merger. You cannot discuss the details with the general public or former employees who were fired for espionage. Your newfound abundance, both spiritual and material, is on a need-to-know basis, and they do not need to know. Remember, your story is what the CEO invested in. It is now a proprietary asset. You do not share your company's most valuable secrets with the competition. Chapter 3: The Liquidation of OLD Assets. A savvy CEO knows that a successful turnaround is not just about injecting new capital. It is also about aggressively liquidating the toxic assets that have been draining resources and poisoning the company culture. As part of this divine restructuring, your celestial investor has authorized a complete liquidation of the energetic dead weight in your life. This process is not emotional, it is a brutal, efficient, and necessary business decision. The people, mindsets, habits, and attachments that have been secretly costing you everything are being sold for parts, and there will be no buybacks. For years, you held on to these things out of a misplaced sense of loyalty or a fear of being alone. You kept toxic relationships on the books, categorizing them as friends or family, when the celestial audit clearly shows they were energetic liabilities, emotional leeches siphoning your life force with every interaction. You clung to outdated beliefs about your own worth, thought patterns that were like faulty, obsolete equipment causing systemic failures day after day. One of these toxic assets was the belief that you had to work twice as hard for half the reward. This belief is being liquidated. Another was the habit of over-explaining yourself to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. This habit is being liquidated. Another asset being sent to the spiritual scrap heap is the belief that your suffering made you noble. This martyrdom complex was a faulty piece of software that made you believe your value was tied to your pain. It is being uninstalled now. You held on to memories of pain, treating them like precious artifacts, when they were nothing more than contaminated material that needed to be handled by a spiritual hazmat team. They were not monuments to your past, they were radioactive waste stored in the basement of your soul, poisoning the entire structure. This liquidation is happening now, and it will feel both liberating and jarring. You will suddenly feel an inexplicable detachment from a person who once had the power to shatter your peace with a single word. You might get a text from them, a message designed to provoke and wound, and you will look at it with the dispassionate curiosity of a CEO reviewing a defunct product line. There will be no emotional charge, no anger, no sadness. Just a quiet recognition that this particular asset is no longer part of your portfolio. You will then delete the message and move on with your day, an act that would have been impossible for you just months ago. This is not you becoming heartless. This is you becoming priceless. It is the clarity of a CEO who understands that holding onto a failing division out of sentimentality will bankrupt the entire corporation. The past was your education in spiritual asset management. Every painful relationship was a masterclass in identifying bad investments. The heartbreak was not a personal failure, it was expensive but invaluable market research that taught you the difference between a high-yield connection and a junk bond. Every betrayal was a harsh lesson in due diligence, training you to read the fine print of people's energy before you sign any emotional contracts. Every public humiliation was a stress test on your brand identity, forcing you to discover what you truly stood for when stripped of public approval. You were not being punished, you were being groomed for the role of a shrewd spiritual investor, one who can spot a liability from a mile away and act decisively to cut losses. In the near future, this liquidation will accelerate. You will feel a powerful urge to clean your physical space. You will go through your closet, your drawers, your phone contacts, and you will purge with a ruthless efficiency you did not know you possessed. Objects tied to painful memories will lose their hold on you. That gift from an ex that you kept out of guilt? You will discard it without a second thought. Phone numbers that lead to nowhere will be deleted. This is the physical manifestation of the energetic cleansing. As you clear your space, you are confirming the liquidation orders from the divine headquarters. You are making room for the new assets, the high-value opportunities and connections that are on their way. An old acquaintance, representing one of these liquidated assets, will reach out to you, attempting to re-establish the old, draining connection. They will offer you the same empty promises and the same toxic dynamic. But you will see it for what it is, an offer to buy back a worthless stock you have already written off. And with the cool authority of the CEO you have become, you will decline the offer. The sale is final. Chapter 4, Your Story as Currency. The most crucial detail of this entire divine transaction, the one that the old world cannot comprehend, is this: your story is not just a narrative. It is now a recognized form of high-value currency. The pain, the resilience, the survival, that is the asset the CEO invested in. It was your spiritual prospectus, a detailed report of your strength, your integrity, and your capacity to generate hope in a bankrupt environment. While others traded in cash, connections, and deceit, you were unknowingly minting a currency of immense power forged in the fires of your own experience. This currency is backed not by gold, but by grit. Its value is not determined by market trends, but by the unshakable truth of what you have endured and overcome. This is why people will begin to react to you differently. Previously, when you shared pieces of your journey, you were often met with pity, discomfort, or disbelief. People would offer platitudes or, worse, use your vulnerability against you. They treated your story like a sad tale to be consumed and forgotten, a piece of emotional gossip. That time is over. Now, when you speak your truth, it will land with the weight of a gold bar hitting a table. The energy in the room will shift. You will not be seeking validation, you will be making a deposit of wisdom and power. Your words will carry an inherent authority that commands respect, not sympathy. People will lean in, not to gawk, but to learn. They will unconsciously recognize the value of what you are saying, sensing that your experience holds the key to their own liberation. You will notice this in small ways at first. A stranger will overhear a fragment of your story and be visibly moved, telling you that you just gave them the exact answer they were praying for. A colleague will listen to you recount a past challenge and will see you not as a victim but as a strategist, a master of navigating impossible odds. Your testimony of overcoming will unlock opportunities that were previously sealed shut. Doors will open not because of what you have but because of what you have survived. Your scars are no longer marks of damage, they are proof of authenticity, the intricate watermarks on a bill of the highest denomination. They are the validation codes that prove your currency is real and impossible to counterfeit. Every moment of your past has been recontextualized. The periods of profound suffering were not a cosmic oversight. They were the proof of work algorithm, the complex and energy-intensive process required to create a spiritual cryptocurrency of unparalleled value. Each challenge you solved was a block added to your soul's blockchain, a permanent, unalterable record of your strength. Every tear was the ink used to sign and certify your divine contract. The seasons of isolation were the incubation period, a time when the value of your story was allowed to compound, safe from the corrosive influence of public opinion and the manipulation of a fraudulent market. You thought you were being buried in a forgotten vault, but you were actually accruing interest at a rate the material world can't calculate. A pivotal moment is approaching. You will find yourself in a situation where you are prompted to share a part of your story. It might be in a formal setting, like a job interview, or an informal one, like a conversation with a new acquaintance. It will not feel like you are confessing or complaining. It will feel like you are making a presentation to an investment board. As you speak, you will feel a power coursing through you, a clarity you have never felt before. Pay close attention to the person listening. They may appear ordinary, but they are an agent of the CEO, an assessor sent to witness the value of the investment firsthand. They are there to confirm the data in the prospectus. Your authentic words, spoken from a place of power and not of pain, will be the final key that unlocks the next, much larger phase of your funding. Your story is no longer a history of your pain. It is the currency of your future. Chapter 5. The Board of Directors. You did not appoint. Every successful enterprise is guided by a competent board of directors. For too long, the boardroom of your life has been occupied by unqualified, self-appointed members. Your board consisted of your inner critic, who acted as a hostile and perpetually dissenting chairman. It included the voices of past tormentors, acting as shareholders with veto power over your happiness. The doubts of skeptical family members held seats as risk assessment officers who saw risk in everything except stagnation. And the limiting beliefs of a society that never understood your mission filled the remaining chairs, consistently voting to slash the budget for your dreams. This corrupt board consistently voted against your progress. They vetoed your joy. They tabled your dreams indefinitely. They passed resolutions to replay every mistake on an infinite loop and approved massive budgets for self-sabotage and fear. This corrupt board has been orchestrating your struggle from the inside. But the new CEO does not tolerate a dysfunctional leadership team. As part of the divine takeover, there has been a complete and total corporate restructuring at the highest level of your being. The old board has been dismissed. This was not a negotiation, it was a summary firing. They were not given severance packages. They were escorted from the premises of your soul by a security detail of archangels. Their keycards have been deactivated. Their access to your decision-making processes has been permanently revoked. The minutes of their disastrous meetings have been shredded and incinerated. The nameplates on the boardroom doors have been removed. In their place, a new board of directors has been installed. You did not appoint them. They were hand-selected by the CEO based on their expertise, their loyalty to your divine mission, and their unwavering belief in your success. This new board is composed of your wisest ancestors, bringing generations of resilience and wisdom. Your most powerful spirit guides are now your department heads, one specializing in creative innovation, another in strategic partnerships. Ascended masters who walk the path you are on now serve as senior consultants, offering perspectives that transcend time and space. And a direct representative from the divine source itself holds the position of chairman, ensuring every decision aligns with your ultimate purpose. They now meet daily on your behalf in the unseen realms. Their sole agenda is your highest good and the successful execution of your purpose. You will feel the presence of this new board. It will manifest as a profound and unshakable sense of not being alone, even in a silent room. You will go to sleep with a complex problem weighing on your mind, and you will wake up with the entire solution laid out in your head, clear as a blueprint. That is the result of your new board holding an emergency late-night session and emailing you the strategy brief while you slept. You will be walking down the street and have a sudden, brilliant idea for your business or creative project. That is not a random thought. That is a memo being delivered directly from the boardroom to your consciousness. You will feel a palpable sense of being guided and protected. Obstacles will mysteriously clear from your path moments before you reach them. The right people will show up at the exact right time. This is your new leadership team actively managing your daily operations with divine efficiency. The authority of this new board will become undeniable in a moment of decision that is fast approaching. You will be faced with a choice between two paths. Logically, both will have pros and cons. Your mind, the former CEO you recently demoted to a mid-level manager, will race, trying to analyze every variable. You will feel stuck. Then, out of nowhere, a sign will appear with blinding clarity. It will be a song on the radio with lyrics that speak directly to your situation. It will be a sentence you overhear from a stranger's conversation. It will be a gut feeling so powerful and so certain that it overrides all of your mental calculations. That is not a coincidence. That is a formal directive, a unanimous vote from your new board of directors. Your only job is to execute their decision without question. They see the entire market, not just the corner you are standing on. Trust their leadership. Chapter 6. The dividend of discernment. With any sound investment, the shareholders are entitled to regular dividends as a return on their commitment. As the primary shareholder in the new divine enterprise of your life, you are now being paid a consistent and powerful dividend. This dividend, however, is not monetary. It is something far more valuable, a hyperpotent, supernatural discernment. It is the ability to instantly perceive the truth beneath the surface, to read the energetic signature of a person, place, or situation with flawless accuracy. This is not intuition, it is divine intelligence, a direct data stream from the cosmic headquarters. For most of your life, you have been navigating a world filled with smoke and mirrors. You were deceived by convincing lies, manipulated by charming facades, and betrayed by people who had mastered the art of hypocrisy. You trusted the wrong people because you were operating on flawed data, using a corrupted operating system that was installed in you by a sick society. You made decisions based on how things appeared, not on how they felt in the core of your being. This vulnerability was a massive liability, costing you time, energy, and peace. It was a security flaw in your system that allowed malware and viruses to enter freely. That liability has now been transformed into your greatest asset. Your system has received a divine software update, complete with the most advanced firewall in the universe. This new discernment will feel like a sixth sense coming online. You will meet someone, and while they are smiling and saying all the right things, you will feel a cold, hollow sensation in your gut, or perhaps a strange, metallic taste in your mouth. That sensation is not you being judgmental or paranoid. It is your spiritual dividend providing you with a real-time energetic background check. It is your soul's internal security system flagging a threat, identifying the malware hidden in their pleasing words. Conversely, you will meet someone quiet and unassuming, someone the world might overlook, and you will feel a warmth, a light, a resonance in your chest that tells you this person is safe. This person is true. Trust that feeling implicitly. It is more reliable than any resume, reference, or social media profile. It is a certified report from your divine board. The past was the training ground where this faculty was forged. Every time you were lied to, it was a training module that taught you the subtle frequency of deception. Each time your trust was broken, it acted as a vaccine, introducing a small dose of poison to your system so you could build a powerful immunity to it for the future. The betrayals were not just painful events, they were calibration exercises, sharpening your spiritual senses and teaching you to distinguish between the signal of truth and the static of manipulation. You thought you were being made a fool of, but you were actually being made a seer. The universe was using your pain to build you an incorruptible lie detector. You have graduated from the training. The equipment is now fully installed and operational. A test of this new power is imminent. An opportunity will be presented to you that, on the surface, looks like a golden ticket. It will tick every box. The numbers will make sense. The logic will be impeccable. Everyone around you, relying on the old, corrupted data of the world, will tell you that you would be a fool to turn it down. But as you consider it, the deep, unshakable no will rise up from your soul. A feeling of wrongness, of profound misalignment, will wash over you, a feeling so strong it might make you feel physically ill. Your mind will argue with it, trying to rationalize it away. But it looks so perfect. Do not listen to your mind. Listen to the feeling. That is your dividend of discernment being paid out in real time. It is a piece of divine intelligence, a warning from your celestial board of directors that this deal is a Trojan horse. Declining this perfect offer will be one of the most powerful and profitable decisions you will ever make. It is proof that you are no longer guided by the illusions of the world, but by the infallible truth of your spirit. Chapter 7. The first acquisition. The purpose of this immense divine investment was never just to stabilize your life. It was not merely to clear your debts and bring you back to zero. That was just the preliminary phase, the securing of the company. The ultimate goal, the true mission, is to fund your expansion. You are being positioned to move from a state of survival to a state of conquest. The CEO, your higher self, is now handing you the reins and a substantial budget. It is time for your first acquisition. It is time to take ownership of a dream you were previously forced to lease from a world that charged you exorbitant interest rates of pain and self-doubt. For years, your ambitions were seen as liabilities. You were told your dreams were too big, too expensive, too unrealistic. You looked at the life you wanted, the career, the home, the relationship, the creative fulfillment, and it felt like a rival corporation, a powerful entity you could only admire from a distance. You believed you lacked the capital, the connections, and the credentials to even attempt to take over. So you settled for less. You leased a smaller life, paid your dues in suffering, and never built any real equity in your own joy. You were a tenant in your own destiny. That mindset is now obsolete. A surge of divine ambition is about to fill your spirit. It will not be the frantic, anxious striving of the past. It will be a calm, focused, and powerful sense of purpose. It is the clean, pure, motivating energy of creation, free from the ego's need for validation or the fear-based drive to prove others wrong. It will be the quiet confidence of a CEO who has just had their funding approved and is now reviewing the list of potential companies to acquire. You will look at your biggest dreams not as distant, impossible hopes, but as undervalued assets, ripe for a takeover. A feeling of profound ownership over your destiny will settle into your bones, replacing the old feeling of being a victim of circumstance. All the failures of your past were not failures at all. They were strategic market analysis. Every dream that did not work out was not a denial, it was invaluable research on a potential acquisition target. You learned the landscape, you identified the weaknesses in the old system, and you discovered what was truly required to succeed. Every rejection letter was a piece of competitor intel. Every dead end was a map showing you where not to build. The world told you that you could not afford your destiny, but the truth is you were simply in an escrow period, waiting for your primary investor to complete the due diligence. The long wait was not a rejection, it was the universe ensuring that when you finally made your move, it would be a guaranteed success, a seamless and hostile-free merger. The moment of action is upon you. Your eyes will land on something you had long since written off as impossible. It could be a listing for a home in a neighborhood you thought you could never afford. It could be a job posting that perfectly matches the career you dreamed of but never thought you were qualified for. It could be a sudden, clear vision for a creative project you abandoned years ago. When your focus lands on it, you will not feel the familiar pang of longing and lack. Instead, you will see the path to it with stunning, step-by-step clarity. You will see the strategy. You will feel the resources, the people, and the opportunities aligning as if drawn by a powerful magnet. This is not you daydreaming. This is the CEO, your sovereign spirit, pointing to the target for your first acquisition. The payment has already been arranged. The divine capital is in your account. This is not about wishing or hoping. This is about executing a pre-approved plan. The universe is not asking if you are ready, it is informing you that it is time. The ink is on the pen, the contract is on the table, and the board has already voted yes unanimously. Your only task is to walk into that boardroom, state your terms, and sign the papers that make it yours.